Can't believe what I found when I let a little piece of you into. If we try, then we can do it like no other couple.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to make a quick video of why I'm switching from my G85 to a Sony a6500. So I've been using the G85 for the last year about, and I absolutely love this camera. The video quality, the 4K is just amazing. Everything about the camera is great. Obviously the flip screen, the screen itself, the touch screen, the electronic viewfinder, the in-body stabilization is the best. So this camera has a lot to offer. Functions, it has all the functions you would need, and they're all really easy to use. Display quality on this during sunlight is great. Just everything makes sense with this camera. So why is it that I am switching a6500? The reason is only one reason, and that's out of focus. This thing has failed me with autofocus so many times. Because I am a one-man show, autofocus is very important to me. And for some reason in 4K, this thing just does not nail autofocus. It does okay most of the time, but you know, with moving around or anything out of the ordinary, if I get close, it just does not focus. It struggles with focus. That's the bottom line, and that's unfortunate because this camera is just so amazing. Now, is the image quality better on the 6500? Probably a little bit. It all depends on your lenses. Lenses is probably the one most thing important. I was using the kit lens on this Panasonic. The 12 to 16 millimeter 3.5 is okay, but it's not great. It's a good all-around lens, but it's not an amazing lens. A prime lens is always the best. So what I got here with the Sony is actually an ultra-wide lens. It's a 10 to 18, and that actually covers a lot of area. And another thing about the Sony that's a plus is that it's very good in low light. So after using the G85 for a year, I decided to hop over to this and see how that will work out. To my amazement, I definitely will want to switch. That I would want to, but after using this camera and this lens for what I do, I absolutely love it, and I think this is what I'm going to stick with. Now, another thing that for some reason for me has been an issue is the audio, and that might just have to do with my microphones, but the clipping on the G85, it has a setting where you can set where the audio doesn't clip. I haven't found the setting in here. There might be something in there, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with audio clipping on the Sony. But it's something to get used to. There's definitely a lot of things to get used to. What sucks about the Sony? Practically everything. The form factor, the buttons are just don't make any sense. They're all over the place. The record button is in an awful place. The menus are terrible. You're always looking forever for anything. I mean, I guess it's something to get used to. The touch screen is worthless, in my opinion. I just turned it off because, you know, I keep bumping it and then I am focusing on things I don't want to focus on. The brightness of the screen is awful. I mean, it is just awful. It's almost why bother even having a screen. It seems like that at least. So this thing just does not have the easy usability of this Panasonic. But because of the autofocus and because of the image quality that comes out of this, this is also a great image, but 6K scaled down to 4 looks amazing. So overall, this camera is a winner for me, and that's why I'm switching. Autofocus is the main reason. Image quality, I could have dealt with the G85 for YouTube compression, it's just fine. But because of that autofocus, that's what made me switch, and that's why I will be using a 6500 from now on. So now I do have this one lens here, 10 to 18 f4 constant, which is really nice, especially for video. I can zoom in and out. Another really cool thing about the a6500 that I think most people don't think about is that you do have clear image zoom, and clear image zoom lets you zoom up to 2 times. So this 18 becomes a 36 if I clear image zoom it times 2. Now times 2 might be a little harsh on the zoom, but you know, for YouTube videos it's fine. It's totally fine. So I can go all the way from 10 to 36 millimeter on this. Now I did get another lens for this camera, obviously, and it's a prime lens, and it's one of the best prime lenses for this, and it is the Sigma 30mm 1.4. So I will be doing a review on that coming up shortly here. So I'm excited about that setup because I will be able to do 30 to 60 with clear image zoom, so I will have a really good zoom range out of these 2 lenses that I have. Most of my shooting is wide, and that's why I have this lens here that I absolutely love. So there's a positive and negative to both of them. There's a lot more negatives on the Sony, but the autofocus wins. This is a much better camera. If you're somebody that's not looking for that best autofocus, this camera is the way to roll. You get the flip out screen, you get microphone input, you get in-body stabilization. You can walk around with this thing and pan even and get really good shots. You know, it's hard to beat this camera for what it has to offer. Strong point of this camera is that it's actually usable. This camera has issues, has problems, but if you're willing to overcome with those, you know, this makes it a more professional camera. So with S-Logs and all that jazz, you can really up your game with your footage. So, and the focus is just the best. And also, I did not mention that it does overheat, but on this A65, if you turn the overheat into high, you will not have any issues with overheating. The light will pop up, but it's just a warning. It will record over an hour without overheating, no issues. So, alright guys, so this is a quick overview of these 2 cameras and why I'm switching. I probably missed a few things here and there, but in any case, that's what my experiences are. Unfortunately, I'm leaving the Micro Four Thirds. I've enjoyed it, it's great, but I think I'm sticking to Sony from now on, and hopefully Sony will address a lot of these issues on their cameras to come. That way we can have the best of all worlds. So if Panasonic beats Sony to the autofocus game before Sony fixes all their issues, then Panasonic will be king. If Sony hurries up and fixes their weirdness with all these functions, then Sony will be king. Whatever you go with is great either way. Just know what you're getting into before you get into a system, so that way you don't have to sell and buy again like I did, even though I did enjoy my Panasonic and I did not regret it. Alright guys, well thanks for watching this video. Hopefully this was informative. And don't forget, what camera you choose doesn't really matter. What matters is the content you produce. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And as always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.